Hi, welcome to another video with Budget with Grace. I'm Grace. This is my YNAB budget, and today we're going to talk about my month of September. So, first thing I like to look at in my kind of retrospect of the month is my goals that I put in the notes category, or I think maybe this would be called memo or something. So I put at the beginning of the month what I want to fund for the month, and sometimes it changes, but this month, I think my vet visit was in August, and I learned that I need to take my cats in for dental work. So Nap or Nappy, one of my cats, the goal was to fund his visit because my other cat will be going later next year. The next is my IRA, specifically a Roth IRA. I have to shorten things to make things fit in this area. And NM stands for next month, so which I accomplished all of these things. I funded my cat's dental cleaning, I contributed $400 to my Roth, and I fully funded October with my money coming in from September, so that's awesome. And going down, I started my membership with the Whatcom Humane Society, so that's a $25 annual fee, and I also plan to continue funding this category and donating. I haven't decided if it will be annually or quarterly, so that my dollars will have a bigger impact. It takes less administration for them to cash larger checks. And my mortgage, this is for my 1-bedroom condo in Washington State. I live on the West Coast, and this covers my escrow, which will then cover my taxes and my principal and interest and everything. HOA, this covers my water as well as some other building maintenance things, my garbage. Dry cat food and cat litter, I wanted to explain a little more. The reason I have them in here as immediate obligations is because I subscribe to them with Amazon Subscribe and Save. So that's also the reason they actually have a date on them as well. So these are the due dates for all of my obligations. And that money gets taken out around the 5th of the month. So that's it. And this month I didn't have to buy dry cat food because, again, due to that vet visit, I learned I was feeding my cats too much. So saving a little on cat food now. Electricity, I use, I'm not sure what they call it, but it's like a bill stabilizing program, so they estimate how much an average month will be for me for 6 months, and then at the end of that time they reassess, and it usually changes between summer and winter, but it's nice to know that it's always going to be the same amount every month. Insurance. This is my phone bill for my mom, and the payment usually processes on the 1st or the 31st, so I just put it in at the end of the month, and then in October you can see it was charged on the 1st. Groceries, it looks like I didn't spend a lot on groceries, but part of that reason is because my boyfriend Forrest bought a lot of groceries this month. We went to Costco a couple times. So the way that I handled that, instead of Venmoing him money, I took money from my grocery category and moved it into his category. So when I go grocery shopping and I split our costs, basically I won't have to charge him for the extra amount. This value is really high because he pays me for his rent, basically, before the end of the month, and then I took that value and transferred it into our split categories. And so, as you can see, it was about $70 that purchases he made. I don't know. Splitting is kind of complicated sounding when you try to explain it too much. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. True expenses. Let's see. The only spending in here was to contribute to the Roth IRA. Home repair. I needed a new smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector because mine were like 20 years old. Came with the house. And YNAB, I finally got the annual subscription, fully locked and loaded for the next 12 months, which is going to be nice because this true expense is going to be more like $7 a month instead of $12 a month. So it's really nice. Let's see. Oh, this was a funny thing that happened. I had a flat tire, and like a super flat tire. They couldn't patch it, but I had a warranty on it, which actually ended up covering more than the cost of the new tire. So I got a little money back, and because I really like whole numbers, I just reduced that amount from this category and put it into my other categories for the month. But other than that, no emergencies, which is great. Eating out, I spent a little more going out with Forrest, but I also spent a little less going out with friends. And I was under for coffee, which is great. And I also didn't just go out and buy food for myself, which I find a lot more guilt for, like just buying food and eating it alone as opposed to enjoying it with someone. But that's just a personal value. Like if you get a lot out, like enjoying time with yourself, eating delicious food, you should do that. That's like your budget. Personal spending. Cannabis, I spent $177, which isn't the best. Let's look back at August. It's more than August, but I think it's less. Oh, it's about the same as July. Yeah, I would feel better if this was closer to 100. So that's kind of what I'm working towards. I'm going to make a video about it and how I'm going to try to approach that goal. Did some laundry. Gifts. I think I found some like really cute greeting cards for my friend's birthday, and I also found the Star Wars poster for Forrest. It says "I love you" to the Death Star and back, and it's like a customized illustration, so it looks like we are Han Solo and Princess Leia. It's really nerdy, but he's a nerd. I don't know. I think I liked it more than he did, but it was kind of fun. Me undies. Got a pair. Clothes. And this is also kind of confusing. I bought some boots that were on sale at REI, and I got the wrong size, and then some of it was reimbursed to me in cash. But anyway, this was the total cost after like this refund situation because they were the wrong size. And of course you can't go in and try on all the sizes, so I haven't even gotten these yet because they had to ship them. So I am really excited to try on my new boots. It's getting cold out, too cold to wear sandals in the Pacific Northwest, let me tell you. Beauty and hygiene. I subscribe to a lot of stuff on Amazon Subscribe and Save, so contact solution. The toothbrushes that I like are not available on Subscribe and Save. They're bamboo, so they are theoretically better for the environment. And then dry shampoo, I just added that to my Subscribe and Save, so it came out early. games and software. I mentioned in my last video I love The Sims, so I got a pack, like they have like a bundle pack you can get, and I treated myself to that. I haven't bought video games in a long time, so and I really am enjoying it, so that was a good purchase for me. And HDMI cable, we needed a really long one because I very handily with my construction skills mounted the TV on the wall and then ran the cords through the wall. So it's a seamless, just mounted flat screen television with no cords, and it's beautiful. I'm pretty proud of myself, as you might be able to tell. Misc, this is just a personal item. Household spending, let's see. Sometimes I'm good about leaving memos on things and sometimes I'm not. Looks like I needed, we got a padlock for our storage unit downstairs. One of my neighbors accidentally put his lock on our storage unit and we like had to figure out who that was, and I don't know, if it hadn't been for that, I would have been like, it's fine, no one will. It's like already in a locked door, so it's just like people in the building that can access it. Anyway, padlock purchased, and I'm not sure what these little things are, but I'm sure that they're correctly categorized. Home decor, this is a big one. I am buying new shades for every window, which I only have 4 windows, but blinds and shades are super expensive. But I'm so excited. These will be coming next week and I can install them, and kind of justifying this in my heart as like, well, this is to put money into my home and my equity so it'll sell more easily one day. But the other part of me is like, that totally could have gone towards your student debt. So, like I said, I waver sometimes on my goals. Nothing for these yet. Cat spending. They did not need a lot. I decided to tuck the money away for the catio in here. Hopefully, that's like kind of an involved project, so hopefully I can tackle it this month. Treats, I bought them some greenies for the first time, so I got them the salmon flavored ones to try as opposed to the catnip flavored ones. I can't tell if they have a preference. I have no idea. Glitter Genie, don't need all the time. I do need this for October, so this is tucked away for that. Toys, this is just kind of building. I'll probably stop putting money in here when it hits like 20, 25. Medication, this is for hairball medication. Project spending, let's see, art supplies. I want to say this is for protective covers for my art. I do watercolors, so I need a like kind of plastic envelope to seal them in when they're finished so they don't get damaged, especially because my cats basically like to chew paper and they eat things like my mail, and I'd be pretty pissed off if they ate my art. And sewing stuff. Ah, yes. I bought fabric for my project. I have some fabric embroidery that I got on a trip to Mexico, and I want to display it. So this is part of that project. Cash spending. This was like a fee for an ATM, but maybe I will put this into MISC and personal. Go back to my budget. Move this to MISC. And I think I'm just going to hide this. I used to be using it kind of in addition to this unlinked cash account, but I'm just going to hide it. Event funds. This is a heartbreaking month when I took money out of my event funds because I know that they're not going to be what they used to be with COVID. So I had $86 in my Halloween category, and I was planning for it to grow to over 100, I think, because of the cost. It's so expensive to buy fabric, and always have to buy new thread or like a new needle, and yeah, I love Halloween, and I'm happy to budget that much for it because it gives me so much joy to wear a Halloween costume. But yeah, not this year. This says only $260, but I know it's because I moved things into my gift categories where I actually spent it, and that's how that is supposed to work. So yeah, negative is like there's no activity on any of these. This is just me moving money around so these totals make more sense for how the world is working right now. And Santa Barbara. Again, nothing's spent here. These are all my categories that right now I think I'll need for my holiday trip to visit my family. Gifts as like just another gift category in addition to this Christmas fund. This one I figure I can give to anyone, like my parents who won't necessarily be in Santa Barbara, and my friends, my boyfriend, and then gifts down here would be more like something I could give to a lot of extended people. Like maybe I can get prints of my art on some cards and bring those and distribute them to the masses. I have a big family. Airport parking, I think it was like $14 a day plus, so divided by 2 times however many I determined I would need $7 a month to reach that goal. Food while we're on the trip, white elephant gift specifically. This probably isn't going to happen, but I'm saving it here for now. Airport spending. Again, with airport spending and parking, I'm not even sure if we're going to fly. We might be driving at this point. Gas, that would be just to drive us from Bellingham to Seattle, and me just being a little bit extra with this budget. And MISC, like just the just in case money. So we'll definitely go to Santa Barbara, but as we get a better picture, I want to reorganize that pretty badly. So now I'm going to hop over to my reports. Let's look at my toolkit reports because that's what I prefer. And I'm just going to go ahead and exclude October because nothing has happened in October. So you can see year to date I've reduced my debt a lot, and this is in a large part due to my freelance business taking off. So the beginning of the year I really didn't have a lot of income, and I was kind of living off credit cards, to be honest. And then my business started to pick up, and I actually just got a full-time job in addition to my freelance job. So the income is finally coming in, and I was able to pay off a couple credit cards. So all of that to say, I'm like really happy with this growing asset number, and it's one reason that I'm putting a lot of money in savings is because I'm a freelancer, and if I can't find work, I don't get paid. So it's it's one reason I'm focusing on saving as opposed to just knocking out my student loans, which you can probably see over in my categories over here. I definitely have a lot in my savings account that I could just put towards my debt, but I want to be cautious and smart. Inflow, outlet, flow. Wow, let's not include March. I think March is maybe the month I started this new budget, and it's kind of a funny one. Like, it didn't count all my income from the first half of March. But yeah, I'm happy with, like, this looks like a pretty good balance, while this looks higher than most months. In July is when I got paid for unemployment through the state. It's when it finally kicked in after applying for it in April. So that's one reason it's super inflated, because it was actually covering weeks of what the state would have deemed my like minimum payment to live. So I'm glad it finally came. Spending by category. Let's look at just this month. And let's look at all of them. Oh, not this month, last month. There we go. Cool. So I like that my immediate obligations are down to 40%. That's awesome. And it's always interesting to see this because it doesn't account for your income. So I wish that like immediate obligations was much smaller, because I didn't spend everything that came in, but that's what income breakdown is wonderful for. So let's look at last month. Facebook Marketplace was actually a fun thing for me for September, because I've said 100 times my boyfriend moved in, and so we had a lot of furniture and a lot of things I could sell on Facebook Marketplace, and that was really awesome because I threw it into my future category in my true expenses. So I got to fund this $120 more than I thought I would, for a total of $270. And that is going to take us to Europe in 2021, so hell yes. My business account. So this is my main source of income. I'm a freelancer, and I used to operate my income for my business from my personal account, and since I have upgraded, or maybe not upgraded, leveled up in the running of my business, so now I have a separate account, which I might show you my business budget someday. And unemployment, I got some compensation for loss of wages. At the start of the pandemic, I was supposed to start a new job, and it completely fell through, so they compensated me a little bit. And that seemed like another thing, like I wasn't expecting it because it's been so long since I applied for it. But hey, I will not turn down $540. And I think I took 500 of that and put it into my emergency fund group. And the other 40, I think maybe just went to groceries or dining out. And Creative Circle, this is the new job I mentioned, so I will be getting weekly income from that. Oh, if you heard my phone, if you heard the Kim Possible sound, that's my cell phone. And this is my income from, like I said, Forrest pays me for rent, and this is confusing because of the way I split up. I feel like I should make a whole video on how I do my splits with my boyfriend, but I'll do that at some point. So when you look at it like this, my immediate obligations and it's only 27% of my overall income, and my mortgage, which I think should be like 30% is the general rule. Let's see. So that, including with the HOA fee, is like 22%. So that feels awesome to me to know that I'm kind of sticking to that rule of thumb. This is also like a bit more income than I would usually have. My salary that I pay myself from my freelance business is $4,000 a month. I wasn't expecting this unemployment income, and the new job I just got this month, so this is the first time I've been paid for it. Um, so yeah, I had a lot of extra income, and I'm really happy that 50% of it just went into savings of some kind, whether I plan to spend it later or I plan to just sit on it. Like, just having that security after going through starting my freelance business and, like I said, living off credit cards is just really not fun. Um, I don't think I'll go over these because this is an eyesore to me. It's hard to look at, and I don't get a lot of extra out of it. And then income and expense. Let's look at last month. Yeah. And that is my budget for September in YNAB. Oh, the one last thing I'd love to look at is this age of money. 53 days, and days of buffering is 62 days. This always goes down a lot the day that I pay my mortgage because it's by far the biggest thing that I purchase every month, so it throws off the average. I think yesterday I was at like 70 something. um, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.